see this?
What?
It's a seminar. Godolkin's inviting everyone.
Look, whatever he's planning, all these people are in danger. We have to warn everybody.
I have one more class to teach.
What the fuck? He's controlling me.
I am here to right a terrible wrong.
Cipher wants to kill all the weak soups.
What do you want to do?
Whatever we do it together.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. This will be my full Boys Gen V Season 2, Episode 8 finale trailer video. Amazon released a bunch of footage. There's a bunch of storylines they have to wrap up and push into The Boys Season 5. The showrunner for The Boys main series and sort of like the overarching architect of this wider Boys universe also talked a lot about Gen V Season 3 stuff, how this is going to lead into The Boys Season 5, so we'll break that all down too. Kind of seems like the trailer is holding back a lot of the big reveals. We will see how WTF things wind up getting. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. They also talked a little bit about what's happening with the Jensen Ackles Soldier Boy spin-off series 2. That's going to be a prequel set during the 1950s called Vought Rising. So I'll address that later in the video because there's some characters that we're actually seeing on Gen V right now, like Thomas Godolkin, who is over 100 years old in present day, who is very much alive and very active during that 1950s period at Vought American, where Jensen Ackles Soldier Boy is running around with Stormfront and all the other early heroes. So there's actually a pretty good chance of you seeing some of the bigger characters that they reference in present day and on the Boys main series. Stormfront's probably the best example of that with Soldier Boy, like big characters in present day who go on to do really crazy things who are still very much active during that 1950s period. I couldn't find any official confirmation on this, but people were claiming that the finale for Gen V is called Guardians of Godolkin, which was actually the same title as the Season 1 finale. So either whoever was reporting this was wrong on the title and it's going to be something different, or they are using the same title from Season 1 as a twist on the Season 1 ending in a reversal of the meaning, like the context for the title. So the whole idea is that it was a lie. It was a very ironic term. They were not guarding anything at Godolkin. They were only guarding Vought. But if they wind up using that again for the title of the Season 2 finale, then it would probably be a redemption of the team name itself. Like that's what it's supposed to imply. Kate redeeming herself to become an actual Guardian of Godolkin, protecting the other students from Thomas Godolkin and saving their lives, as opposed to what she did during Season 1. Along with the rest of the Scooby Gang, Marie, and the others also becoming Guardians of Godolkin because they're stopping Thomas Godolkin. But the vast majority of the actual finale trailer footage just focuses on the little civil war that Thomas Godolkin enacts, basically his master plan for the culling that he said, basically getting rid of all the weaker students, causing them to battle each other, going full apocalypse from the X-Men comics and the X-Men movies.
You are not worthy. You are only delaying the inevitable.
I talked a little bit about this comp during my Episode 7 video, but Thomas Godolkin is acting more like Apocalypse, the mutant, does in the X-Men comics. We just got the X-Men 97 Season 2 trailer at New York Comic Con. Apocalypse is going to be the big villain of that Season 2, like he was during the original X-Men animated series. His whole thing is that only the strongest should survive, survival of the fittest. So that's kind of why you're seeing Thomas Godolkin with that wry smile on his face, like he's totally happy with people surviving what's happening here. He just wants them to be the strongest, so he doesn't care who survives, just that they are the strongest. They haven't really dug into it on the show, but if you think about how old Thomas Godolkin is, he would have been around during World War II. He was meant to be Vought's chief scientist working with him, developing Compound V in the first place. So he was also a Nazi, just like Friedrich Vought, who started the company, and his wife, Stormfront. Totally makes sense that a Nazi scientist would come up with a plan like this.
Nazis. I hate these guys.
But just starting at the beginning of the footage, we see the Scooby Gang come back to school and try to figure out what's going on. They see that Thomas Godolkin has now started this seminar with the other kids, and it's in the danger room where most of this action goes down, where basically he sells the other kids around school saying, I'm going to teach you about how to optimize your powers, but then slowly begins to enact his plan, forcing them to fight each other, causing this little mini civil war to break out. There are a lot of questions about this, like wouldn't the others try to tell all the other kids what's really going on? Something happens to prevent them from doing that in an easy kind of way, it sounds like at the beginning of this, but they do talk about it at the beginning of the trailer here. We're like, we have to warn everybody what's really going on. Love their After Effects comp here with the way they reveal the titles for the finale right next to the statue of him that they built back during the 1960s when the school was started, when he started the school. Part of the idea is that this episode is meant to be full circle, like now he has come back, even though technically he's actually been administrating over the school for a while now as dean. They kind of got into this concept during season 1, like the whole reason for the school being created is that Vought was looking for another way to test their research, and this just became a way, basically use all these kids and put them through school as an excuse to develop the more powerful mutants. He then says he has one more class to teach. You see the kids in the danger room, a bunch of other people like Rufus is standing there with everybody else, and he then starts to use his mind control powers, his telepathy, to cause the others to use their powers to attack and kill the other kids.
Have one more class to teach.
Seems like the first person he uses is somebody who has super speed that he forces to run and just destroy this person right next to them, causing Rufus to get pissed off, then use his powers, and so on and so forth. Then it seems like it breaks into more of a battle royale when Marie and the Scooby Gang break in and try to calm everyone down, stop everyone from killing each other. This is what Thomas Godolkin was talking about to Polarity through Cipher's body in the last episode, where he said, no, the kids are going to use these weapons to kill each other. I'm not going to be the one to actually do it, which is basically what's happening here. He's using his telepathy to force them to use their powers on each other. When things start getting crazy in the danger room, we hear his voiceover saying, "I'm here to right a crazy wrong," and it sounds like he's talking over a loudspeaker. Maybe this is him talking to the rest of the school, because it seems like most of what's happening here at the school is localized to the school specifically, because he was just talking about culling people at the school. It hasn't broken out to a much wider area yet. So I think part of the idea is that during the episode, people around the school, like the normal public around the world, will slowly start hearing about what's actually going on. And then that's when Homelander, Vought, Sage start to get more involved, dealing with it on a propaganda level. Like, how do we spin this so that it doesn't wind up in disaster for Vought by the beginning of The Boys Season 5? Basically the same thing that Vought had to do at the end of Gen V Season 1, cover everything up in a way that made them not look terrible. So much of this footage is montage style, so you don't get a look at everybody's powers, but it looks like somebody actually has Speed Force powers, like yellow lightning in the back here. Maybe that's meant to be a comp to the Flash. Sage looks like she's monitoring the battle from above inside the danger room, like she's just watching this all play out because it's still part of their plan. There's a little bit of different footage that we had in the earlier trailers too, where she also seems like she gets a little upset, saying that this isn't part of the plan, meaning that what might happen is that Thomas Godolkin might go off the rails at some point during this. You remember the whole reason why Sage is doing this isn't so much that she cares about supremacy around the world, like survival of the fittest. That's more of a Thomas Godolkin thing that he believes in. She seemed like she only wanted to be with him. That was her big goal, is healing his body so they could be together the way that they wanted to be together.
But, we got here. Just had to keep a few bits to myself.
So remember what happened during The Boys Season 4 when she was making her plan with Homelander, trying to tell him how to take over the world, essentially, but part of her real plan was knowing that Homelander would go off the rails, so her true plan actually accounted for that. So I also wonder if she helped Thomas Godolkin come up with this plan here to cull the school, if she also has a contingency plan, like a larger plan, knowing that he would also go off the rails too, so that her real master plan isn't affected by him doing all this crazy stuff. There's a brief scene where it seems like Emma is forced to fight Greg, that new boy that she likes during this. Like, there was a big thing during episode 7. There might be a twist on that too, with Sam trying to redeem himself, but then realizing that they weren't meant to immediately get back together. So there's weird love triangle energy that might just continue through the finale. Then they wind up ending the trailer with this battle royale and Marie using her powers to try and get everybody to chill out. But you remember there were a couple powers that she displayed that we hadn't seen her use before in last week's episode. Like, she bloodbended everybody at the same time up into the air like it was telekinesis. She'll probably have versions of that we'll see during the finale, that she uses her powers in bigger ways to calm everyone down and get everybody to stop killing each other. The real question, though, is Thomas Godolkin powerful enough to mind control Marie to use her powers through her? So basically, it's Thomas Godolkin using the powers of Marie, which I think is the ultimate long-term goal here. That was part of the reason why they weren't worried about Homelander, because they made it seem like Marie, who had been created the same way that Homelander was created, to become potentially as powerful, if not more powerful than Homelander, or have an ability that could actually work on him, which was actually Victoria Newman's problem during the last season of The Boys. If you remember, a lot of people asked this because her powers were somewhat similar on a lesser scale to Marie's, but not the exact same type of powers. Ever since they'd introduced her character, people were like, wait a minute, can she pop Homelander's head? And they answered the question during The Boys Season 4, no, she cannot. She is not powerful enough to pop Homelander's head, which is why he had that evil smile at her when she tried to use her powers on camera and was revealed as a soup.
You, of course, Marie. And in the 80s, Homelander.
Here's the thing with that, though. I don't think that they're going to make The Boys Season 5 storyline rest on what's happening with Marie here on Gen V Season 2 and her creation, her being so powerful. Because of the way they just like to structure the TV shows, they want people to be able to watch The Boys Season 5 without having seen Gen V episodes. So there might be some Easter eggs and references and some crossover characters in the background for Gen V Season 2 to The Boys Season 5, but not like the absolute main ending of the show. That's all just going to rest on stuff that they've been doing on the Boys main series, like Ryan, Homelander, what's happening with Butcher right now. So this is also why I think they're going to deal with Thomas Godolkin during the finale here. Like somebody either kills him or perma-traps him somewhere like in that dude's butthole pocket dimension. That would actually be a hilarious way for him to go out. Put him inside that pocket dimension where his telepathy won't work. What it seems like is going to happen, though, is that there will be a more direct crossover setting up The Boys Season 5 because the showrunner for both of the shows said that The Boys Season 5 takes place about 6 months after the end of Gen V Season 2. So what'll happen at the end of this is that they'll stop Thomas Godolkin somehow, and then they'll deal with it on a PR level, like Vought will just spin their lies about what actually happened. Basically a similar version of those tag scenes at the end of Gen V Season 1. Just like light crossover with some more direct references to what's happening during The Boys Season 5. What it seems like they're doing right now is that The Boys Season 5 episodes will release in 2026 around the same time they released in 2024, like same time of year, and then the Jensen Ackles Soldier Boy series will premiere in 2027, the year after that. When they were asked about Gen V Season 3 being a thing, they said the only way that they would actually make it is if enough people watch Season 2, so it just depends on how successful Season 2 winds up being on a viewership level, if Amazon wants to spend the money on a Season 3. So it's not absolutely guaranteed right now, but maybe in like the next 6 months they'll talk about it. It sounds like one of those things that's not an immediate guaranteed kind of thing. What'll happen is my full Episode 8 video will post next week after they release it, and then hopefully they'll start releasing some official Boys Season 5 footage. Whatever winds up happening, of course I will do videos for it and any Boys Season 5 footage they wind up releasing in the next couple weeks, so be sure to enable alerts for my channel so you don't miss any of that. Everybody click here for all my Gen V episodes. I'll update the link as soon as I post my full finale video, and click here for all my New York Comic Con trailer videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.